All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into a really personal journey, one about weaving together ancient wisdom to completely reframe one of the toughest battles we can face in life.
So let's just kick things off with this. It's a pretty raw observation, right? It kind of sets the stage for a story that has to move beyond any rigid rules to find wisdom in the messy real world. It's about that moment you realize that even in places of so-called enlightenment, the same old human stuff, like jealousy and ego, is still there. Okay, so this is where our story really kicks off. It starts with this fascinating contradiction with a person we're going to call Jace, who's totally caught between two different worlds. Now look at this. This isn't just some kind of career change, right? It's a massive shift in who this person is. On one side, you've got the past Jace, a messenger, literally shipping out spiritual books. And on the other, you've got the present, a warrior who's forced not just to deliver someone else's wisdom, but to build his own and actually live it. And this gets to the heart of his struggle. It's a classic spiritual crossroads, known as Arjuna's dilemma. And you might even recognize this feeling. It's that moment you're standing on the battlefield of your own life. You're looking at the challenges, your family, your old habits, your inner demons, and you just feel frozen, paralyzed. And the advice from Krishna in this story, it's so direct, so powerful. He basically says, fulfill your purpose, do your duty, even when it's painful, because the universe demands that you act. Refusing to fight, hiding away because you're scared, well, that's still a choice, and it has its own consequences. So, faced with this massive dilemma in his own life, Jace didn't just pick one path. Nope. He built his own framework, pulling from three completely distinct spiritual giants. And he came up with this really personal shorthand for it, JBK. See, instead of getting stuck in one single philosophy, he decided, you know what? I'm going to pull wisdom from wherever I find it. And this is what I think is so cool about this. He maps each of these huge teachings to a specific real-life event. This isn't some abstract philosophical exercise. It's a toolkit, a practical guide, literally built from his own experiences. So this whole warrior mindset, this JBK framework, it worked. It served him really well. But it led him to a really important question. A question that would pretty much change everything. What if fighting the battle isn't actually the whole story? What if the goal isn't to fight at all? All right, this is where things take a turn. This is the paradigm shift. A fourth, completely unexpected element comes into the mix and just reframes the whole thing. He discovered the Tao. And the thing about the Tao is, it's not another teacher with a list of rules to follow. It's more like a fundamental rhythm, an undercurrent that's already flowing beneath everything. And this is the crucial part. The Tao brings in this idea of non-resistance, of flow. Think about it. It's the complete opposite of that warrior fight mentality. You know, water doesn't smash into a rock and try to break it. It just flows around it. And that simple idea, it was a total game changer. And this right here just illustrates the new structure perfectly. JBK, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, they're the pillars. They give you the strength, the core principles, love, clarity, courage. But the Tao, that's the space, the breath, the flow that holds it all together. So this combination, this synthesis of ideas, it became unbelievably powerful when he applied it to one of the toughest struggles anyone can face, addiction. The final piece of the puzzle came from a book by Wayne Dyer. It was his take on the Tao Te Ching that really connected the dots, linking this ancient wisdom directly to the very modern problem of addiction. He basically turned these old verses into an operating manual for today. Okay, so what Dyer says is this. When you line up with the Tao, with your own inner source, you stop chasing things outside of yourself to feel whole. That need for an external fix, for that next hit of, well, whatever it is, it just starts to lose its grip on you. And that's because addiction tells you one big depressing lie over and over. You'll never have enough. It's built on that feeling of lack, that constant craving. But the Tao, it's based on the exact opposite principle, the idea that enough is right here, right now, you are already whole. And here it is, the key insight. You can't fight an addiction because fighting it just gives it more energy. The Taoist approach isn't about declaring war on yourself. It's about cooperating with your natural state of well-being so that the need for the addiction just dissolves. And this just reframes the whole problem, doesn't it? Addiction isn't a failure of discipline.
It's not about not having enough willpower. It's a symptom. It's a big, flashing sign telling you you're out of sync with yourself, that you've lost your natural flow.
So, where does this all lead? What's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that this isn't just one person's theory. It's a universal truth that you see popping up again and again across different times and traditions.
I mean, just look at the pattern. You've got Neville Goddard, who taught that your reality is shaped by your inner assumptions, not by chasing things. You've got the legendary samurai Musashi, who warned that craving and clutter make a warrior weak from the inside out. They're all pointing to the exact same thing. Real strength doesn't come from fighting the world. It comes from getting right with yourself.
So all of these different paths, the warrior, the sage, the mystic, they all lead to one single profound realization about our deepest struggles. And it's this: addiction isn't the enemy. It's the test. It's the ultimate test of your personal beliefs. The thing that puts so much pressure on you that you have no choice but to stop looking for an outside fix and finally turn back to the source of strength that was inside you all along. And that just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What if that huge battle you're fighting isn't really a battle at all? What if it's actually an invitation to just let go and find your own flow?